Today's topic, the what do you call it?
AI as companionship, as a companion, as your partner to talk to, either romantically or for your psychological problems,
Like
or as a
non-human,
friend.
yeah, yeah, the non-human artificial companions. The terms changed. They they became more what do you call it? More PC because now they call them companions instead of what they used to call them, like AI girlfriends or AI or bots or whatever you call it, that kind of stuff. But that it's but actually AI companion or artificial companion, those are more, you know, they 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 kind of cover all the bases of the thing of what's going on in this market, and it's a better description of actually what's going on. You know what I mean? So yeah, um,
So, so as we, as sources are saying, people being lonely, people being depressed is starting to be, or is already, a product. It's a way of income for certain companies.
yeah, that's actually a good one. That's actually a good one because before this, there's kind of like a boom in this kind of industry. It's like during Corona and after Corona, it kind of exploded, but it existed already before Corona, of course. But
Yeah,
before that,
the normal chatbots. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, chatbots have been around. I mean, like, remember Base Hunter with Botan Anna? Like
Oh,
how old is this song?
wow. Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and that was about an IRC chatbot. IRC, like who even uses? I still have IRC installed on my computer, by the way. But who even uses IRC as a main like communication tool these days? Like super ultra nerds probably. But that
Yeah,
song is like when did it come out? 2004 or something like that. Like really old.
something. Yeah, 2000s definitely. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah, chatbots during those days was just chatting. I mean, it was not learning, right? It was
No, no.
just automated. It has, yeah, it
It
was more
Yeah.
templates.
They didn't learn from what I've seen, the bots I've seen back then. They didn't learn from the user. They were just kind of like pre-programmed, and there was no like algorithmic learning or anything like that. So they just ran on the IRC servers, and just you could just like you could like what do you call it? You could start chatting with them by sending a command and that stuff, and then like it started talking, that kind of stuff. So, but that's like early 2000s, and I wouldn't even be surprised if even in the 90s there were already chatbots on IRC. Because IRC was fairly like open source. Well, it wasn't exactly open source, but there was a lot of programming stuff going on there, add-ons and that kind of stuff that you could install on servers. So I wouldn't even be surprised if they had chatbots in the 90s. But I mean, that technology has come a long way these days. And now they're with adding large language models to them, adding like algorithmic learning, what do you call it? Machine
Yes.
learning. I mean, machine
Yeah.
learning. It's
So it's,
suddenly insane.
yeah, it's being more sophisticated. I mean, I am sure people already had like maybe fantasizing about having a romantic relationship with their IRC chatbot.
Oh yeah, I mean, the Bass Hunter song is about that. They fell in love with the robot. That
Yeah.
that that's
Okay,
that's
but
what
that's just a
that's
song. But
yeah.
I'm
But
sure there's some, no judgment, by the way, guys. If you're a
no,
viewer or listener,
oh no, we don't judge around here.
no.
No, but I mean, it's just a song, yes, but it's not. The song doesn't like as you say in Dutch. It komt niet uit de lucht vallen. As in direct translation, it doesn't fall out of the sky suddenly. That's a
Yeah.
direct translation, by the way. But what we mean is there was the Botten Anna song came out, but there was already this like below the surface thing out there uh, in like kind of nerd culture, in nerd internet culture, where people would like, they like the robot girls, they like the AI bots, they fell in love with them. I mean, there's a lot of stories about this even in anime, like the robot girl, like the the anime genre of girl from another world. We've spoken about this before in previous episodes. I think it was maybe episode 3 or 4, but whatever. Girl from another world genre. There are a lot of robots and AIs in this genre, like Video Girl I, Mahoromatic, Chobits, you name it. These are all like Video Girl I is like some AI magical girl from that came from like cyberspace or something like that. Chobits is a robot. Mahoromatic is a robot. Uh, all-purpose cultural cat girl Nuku Nuku. That's even one of the crazier ones, because that's the main character's cat dies or gets in an accident. The father, who's a bioengineer scientist guy, takes the cat's brain, puts it in a robot, in a 16-year-old girl robot, and now suddenly the guy has a big sister but the big sister is his cat that just died. So his cat is alive. So it's like this wild, this crazy anime of, and it's not even like some kind of sexual fetish. It's like a 10-year-old kid who suddenly gains a 16-year-old sister, and it's like the most wholesome cat girl thing you can think about. And it's like, but it's still like it still kind of falls into the whole girlfriend from another world thing, but it's again a robot thing. So this has been around for a while, but only
Mhm.
recently we've had the technology to actually like start,
Yeah.
making these
Well,
things. you know.
I do remember a guy, I think from Japan.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, he was marrying his what was it? It was from a game. He was marrying his Nintendo DS.
I think there's been a few of those. I also remember this other guy who was like marrying his like hologram character in some kind of hologram display thing. There's been a few of those kinds of I'm marrying some whatever character,
And of
whatever.
course, marrying the waifus
Yeah, of course,
with
marrying
the
the
waifu
waifus.
pillows.
Yeah, the waifus and all that stuff. I mean, that's all like kind of like the same kind of thing, where these kind of like lonely guys. There are even girls, by the way. There are girls. I mean, they have in Japan. They have this whole
Yeah,
you can marry yourself thing. That's the
yeah,
funny thing in Japan. The guys marry anime girls or waifus or whatever, but the girls, they like marry themselves in a similar ritual. There's like this entire industry of like that you can have the experience of being married, but you marry yourself. It's like, but it's like so weird. So it's on both sides that this kind of weird kind of, what is it, like loneliness thing is happening, where people can't
yeah,
really talk to each other somehow, but then they figure out how to get the experience of another human through some kind of other means than another human. It's not a human,
yeah.
so it's something else.
But and like yeah, guys, they're apparently just a bigger market for this.
Yeah, I guess like when it comes to like the chatbots, the technological stuff, like that. Yeah, guys are more into it than girls. I mean, the whatever kind of
In
setup you
general,
need,
like in general, the loneliness is bigger than in the male, yeah, demography.
Yes, yes. There is a lot. Yeah, there is a lot of loneliness in men. There's also a lot of like unknown stresses in men. Like, for example, suicide rate is higher for men in like across all countries that I've seen. It's just generally
Yeah.
higher for men than women. Suicide rate every country statistic I've seen. Netherlands is the same. Japan
Hmm.
is the same. US is suicide rate higher for men than women. So
Yep.
there's a lot of underlying things going around with men, and yeah, this is one of the manifestations of it, where like we see with the replica AI companion. That's like one of the more
Yeah.
advanced and largest ones, where they literally uh, yeah, they are literally like complete girlfriend simulators. It's really insane how popular that is. And there's a lot of different companies that offer these kinds of services where you like chat with these bots, and
Yeah.
even now they even have speech now. They can even talk to you, call you on the phone,
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff.
And that's the thing. I mean, I can really understand like the a therapeutical side of it for men. Like it's a way to battle their loneliness.
Yeah.
I can vouch for that really because for I've mentioned this before as well, because for many people, for many guys, there is no other way. And because of their surroundings where they are living at right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, in a way, this on a short term, this is helpful. I mean, it's not the cure for it, obviously,
No, it's not.
but yeah, I mean, if you're super introverted, I can understand it's hard to go out in a bar and make new friends or go to a sport club or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, that's is what should be like stimulated maybe through those AI companions.
Hmm.
But of course, it's in the end the fucked up thing about it is that's in the end it's driven by money, of course.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean they make a lot of money. Replica makes a lot of money. All these other companies they make a lot of money on this stuff. But like,
So again, something cyberpunk.
yeah, of course, of course. I mean, this is the whole cyberpunk angle to it. Whatever issue there is, whatever thing there is, the capitalists find a way to monetize it and drive a stake through the heart of any humans that are using this the technologies or whatever. That's kind of like the premise of a lot of, or the starting point for a lot of cyberpunk stuff. So we're seeing this, of course, in real life, with these yeah, with these companies not really helping, and they're kind of like maintaining the more unhealthy aspects of these technologies, instead of like trying to, because like Replica talks about it being to help with loneliness. And Replica was like started because the creator, a family member died or something like that, and she tried to replicate this person by feeding a large language model their chats, and then the it worked. The resulting robot or resulting AI chatbot uh, spoke like the deceased person. So
Yeah.
the experiment worked. So they were like, "Oh, this is great." So then they started offering this service. But like, then the money started rolling in. It's like, "Whoa, holy shit! Now what?" Like, so. But now it's like it's kind of like this weird thing where there's like these services being offered of like kind of like reviving the dead through AI. It's like this really weird shit. I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't even looked it up, but I wouldn't be surprised if there were some that offered video services of reviving the dead. You just feed it a bunch of pictures, and then it could just, as
Wow.
it
That is
reproduce, yeah, as it reproduces the speech patterns of
wow.
the person, it
Yeah.
also reproduces the voice, because if you feed it video, it can reproduce the voice
Yeah.
and also their looks. And now you suddenly have a chatbot that is a
Oh my
reasonable
god.
replica of your deceased, loved one or whatever, what have you.
Yeah. This is so cyberpunk. And I
I
mean, we
Yeah,
are already so close to
yeah,
holograms, man.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah,
and people out of pain, which is understandable as well because losing a loved someone is, of course, painful.
yeah,
But when the holograms come out, th- they will project their loved one into that hologram. And
Oh, they
of
definitely will.
course, we shouldn't forget about how realistic robots are becoming. I
Yeah.
mean, hey,
I mean, if you looked at
it's
our previous episode, like
yeah,
the previous episode was actually kind of like why we started this topic, because the previous episode covered like kind of like the more fun part, but then it's like yeah, there was actually a comment on the previous episode talking about like what about like the the companion bots. I was like, hey, actually, we didn't even think about that in the previous. So now we're like, hey, now we have like now we're having, if you look at the technologies that we discussed in the previous episode, where it's like Boston Dynamics has these incredible robots that move very fluidly. They complete, as far as I'm concerned, the Boston Dynamics robots, they cross the uncanny valley when it comes to movement. Of course, their
yep,
movements are so fluid, it looks like a person in a suit, as far as I'm
yep,
concerned. The other robots that we showcased in the previous episode, they are they're not there yet. But like the very next competitor, as far as I'm concerned, is like 80% there. As far as I'm
yep,
concerned, and then like the other ones trail off to lower percentages as you go
yep.
down the list. But if you combine the Boston Dynamics robots with any of these, what was that one called, real something, real model or something like that. There was one that's like trying to replicate a real life woman. If you combine the Boston Dynamics one with those robots, the real bots, real botics, real from real botics, yeah. That's the name of the company, the real botics. That's the
Hmm.
then it would be insane. The movement would be uncanny because the robotics robots, they're trying to emulate like actual human like appearances,
Hmm.
but their movements are terrible. It's like completely
Hmm.
like it's like watching like some kind of animatronic show at like some cheap theme
Yeah,
park. It's like
I
it.
mean, have you watched Black Mirror? Because there was an episode actually on
Mhm.
this where a woman revives a deceived loved one
Mhm.
into a robot.
Oh, well, no, I actually didn't like Black Mirror somehow. It's very popular. I understand, but
Hmm.
I watched the first season and I couldn't get into it. I was like, yeah, I mean, I get it. It's
Yeah,
like I couldn't get into it. But I mean, back in the day, I used to watch similar shows. Like, for example, The Outer Limits is pretty much what Black Mirror is based on, and it covers similar topics like dystopian futures, those kinds of things. But yeah, I
well,
mean, that's also a thing that could happen where you could just like I just said earlier, just now was about like feeding an AI program like photos and videos of your loved ones or whatever, then it just generates. But what if you just send these things also to a company that like would make a skin for your robot, that and then like produce this robot that's a complete replica of the person. So now you have the actual like a replica of the person walking around in your house, and it's not
yeah.
digital. Because one of the robots that we also kind of like discussed a bit was that one where the face was really well made. It has like this gray face, and it articulates really well. It's like that's like the best facial articulation I've seen ever in a robot. And combine that technology with the facial articulation with the Boston Dynamics robots, and then the realbotics, you know, sex robots, for lack of a better word, then you have the potential to have like this insane, hyper realistic, companion robot that is pretty much out of all the science fiction dreams we've seen, like out of Ghost in the Shell, you name it, name any cyberpunk whatever, and they talk about these kinds of robots. Blade Runner, for example, Blade Runner, the 2049 one, even had both types of companions. They had the sex dolls, and they had the AI girlfriend. They had both of them, and at one point in the scene, they had them both perform to please the guy at the same time. So it's like that. It's like they combined all of the things that like this topic is all about. That's insane. It's insane. Yeah.
I'm really wondering, dear listener or viewer, do you have experience on like actually having building up a relationship with an AI? I'm really curious about it. Please share if that's okay with you. Please share your story because I really I never come across someone who actually experienced this with an AI, and I would love to learn more about it. I would love to like ask more questions about it because it's really interesting.
Yeah, I haven't met anyone that's done this either. It's like it's always something that I see like others do. Oh, it's like, oh, there's this big epidemic. Oh, there's like a million users on this app, and they're all like, oh, these girlfriends, these boyfriends. Oh, they're all fake. They're all fake. But I've never seen one in real life. Maybe people just don't talk about it.
Yeah, I mean it's it,
You know?
it's kind of a delicate matter, which I also understand because it I'm sure people will feel judged
Yeah,
about this.
yeah. That's also another thing. It's not like the most fun thing
Was
to like talk about with others. Like, hey, you want to know what my girlfriend did this week? It's like, who's your girlfriend? Yeah, this AI. You're like, whoa, whoa. Like that kind of stuff. Like, wow, people would be like, whoa, what are
yeah.
you talking about? It's There's still a lot of stigma to it, which is hilarious because it's a massive growing industry. It's massive. It's growing really fast, and also the companion robots, the physical ones, that's also growing really rapidly. That technology. So
Mhm.
it's 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 like the double-edged thing of like, oh, on the one hand everybody's like trying to fake it, like, oh no, it's not real, or no, it's I'm not doing, but at the same time everybody, there's people are paying all this money for this stuff. So it's pretty funny how that works. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, and sometimes we do see it in the news or something. I mean,
Yeah.
a little while ago that a guy in Holland actually married his AI.
In Holland.
Yes,
I
a Dutch
didn't
guy.
really. I haven't heard
Yeah.
of that one.
It was over the news, so that was impressive of that guy as well. That he didn't care to be judged.
Oh wow. Yeah, yeah.
He showed his happiness with it. So
Yeah, exactly.
and
Yeah, I
hey, if you're happy with it, I'm really like I'm happy for you too.
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like, I don't care. People do whatever they want to do. It's not my problem. But like the society does care. They judge people on these things, and so it's pretty
Yeah.
surprising even in Holland to hear this stuff, because like we're already used to like hearing some, oh, this Japanese guy married an anime girl. Whoa! I mean, we've seen that a bunch of times. I mean, I've even seen Chinese stories of like this Chinese guy dated this anime girl, the waifu, whatever. Who cares? Nobody cares anymore. So these countries have had these kinds of things all the time,
Yeah.
but yeah, in Holland that's pretty surprising, and
Yeah.
I mean it's kind of moving more into the zeitgeist of Western cultures, because we had like the movie Her. That was like the guy fell in love with his like robot AI assistant, and then we of course had Blade Runner 2049. That's a thing. There's also more movies like this. Like what was that one? I forgot the name. It's like this robot, kind of like a shiny silver robot. It was a female robot. Um, kind of like a horror movie. I forgot the name. I'll look it up and post a picture. But I mean, there's a lot more of these kinds of stories from the West, where before in the past they did not even happen. I mean, like the only Western one that I know of that actually had like like sex bots or whatever was Blade Runner back in the day. And beyond that, I'm not even sure. I mean, I'm talking about like pop culture. I mean, it's been in cyberpunk since whatever. I mean, who cares?
Yeah.
It's whatever. But I'm talking about like pop culture. That these ideas are like coming into the popular mindset more and more. It's not before her or before Blade Runner 2049. Not really. Here and there, you may have seen something, but not really. Yeah, I mean, Bot and Anna was like this surprising thing. That was like really crazy. People were like, "What the freak?" People actually like these things. Ooh, so that. But after that, it kind of fell silent in that aspect. That kind of stuff. I mean, like robot girls or whatever has been around. Like Metropolis is like this super old movie, like 100 years old, and it's like it's like this like robot, this city with automation and like this robot girl or whatever. It's always been a thing, but not in this way. This whole it's my girlfriend type of thing. You know what I mean?
So I'm wondering, dear viewer, what is your prediction uh, on how this will evolve? Because okay, maybe this is already this type of situation regarding lonely guys having needing to have a companion with an AI or a robot has been predicted maybe like around the 80s, 60s, 70s.
Man,
What would be the next step?
the first time I've seen the even the idea of uh like a robotic companion of any way, what was it, like Lost in Space, like the 1960s one with the big robot, danger, danger, Will Robinson, danger. But that's like, or like the Jetsons, Rosie the robot, she was like
Oh,
a house cleaner. But
oh yeah,
that's
but that's from the that was really old.
yeah, that's like the 50s, 60s. But I mean,
Yeah,
that's like something like when people with like your normal normies, like normies talk about robot assistants or whatever, they're talking about that stuff. They're talking about Rosie the robot. They're talking about
yeah.
the I forgot his name, but the robot from Lost in Space, warning Will Robinson about danger. Um, that's what they're talking about. Only like the nerds, they like think further, like wait a minute, people are gonna start making girls or making dudes and copy humans. That idea, when was the first time that the I mean the first thing I saw that had that idea was Blade Runner. uh the first time I saw it, that's the first thing because the 1984 Blade Runner had uh you know robot prostitutes, you know. So
Yeah.
that's the very first one I've seen. And of course, in anime, it's been a thing. In anime, it's been a thing for a long time. But of course, anime has been more connected to nerd culture and with
Yeah.
subcultures than the mainstream stuff. So it's of course anime has been covering these topics for decades, well before anything in the West even tried to cover it. So it's not really a thing. You know.
Yeah, that's why I'm really curious about what the next prediction will be in around the next 50 years.
Yeah. Uh, I mean, seriously, I only see this industry growing more. And within our lifetimes, we will have one-to-one replicas of humans walking around that are
Yeah,
just robots and they're just robot
getting more
companions.
sophisticated and more
Yeah.
sophisticated, but what will be the next step in their evolution?
I mean,
Please. Oh,
yeah. I mean, the
yeah.
next step in their only evolution, as far as I'm concerned, is that they will look like humans, unless humans get tired of humans, and then now they suddenly have to look like other things than humans. But that's something else, of course. But like that's where it's going. More and more realism
Yeah.
as time goes on, and then at one point you're like, is this a real person or is it a robot? And then you're just gonna have to start wondering, okay, do these things have rights or what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what's going on? Like responses are identical to humans, but it's a manufactured product. You have to service it. You have to like update it. And it's like, okay, so what's going on? You know, that kind of stuff. You know.
Yeah. So please, dear listeners and viewers, share with us what do you think? What do you predict? What do you think will happen?
Yeah.
And please support us by liking and subscribing so we can keep up with our talks about our hobbies
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
and interests.
Yes, thank you. Please
Thank you for listening.
watching.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Have a nice day.
Yes, until next
Bye-bye.
time. Have a nice day.